So if you caught the last episode, 22 I believe, got everything sprayed back to one color. And now, to prepare for non-skid, we got to rough it up and we got to get all that waxy residue off of there from the patch booster. So busted out the sander, a couple gallons of acetone, and an entire roll of paper towels pretty much, and got it all cleaned up. You can see it's scuffed up all around, and yeah, just everything I could do to get every bit of residue off of this. Had a couple imperfections, things back here, especially where sort of having a couple issues with spraying, but no worries, because plan for now is to get all this taped off, make my non-skid lines how I want, and then start rolling. Roll some gel coat, sprinkle some non-skid on there, let it kick, roll another layer of gel on top of that to cure that up, and then go back and spray a final layer over everything to seal it all up, cure it, and that'll be that. So stay tuned, and let's get to it. Oh, also it doesn't take much of a keen eye to see that the console's in the boat now. So that big beast took a little doing. So got a lot more room in the floor to walk around here. Let me show you how I did that real quick. Yeah, good times, huh? So anyways, it's in, it's heavy, it's measured, it's centered, and that's the reason I put it in now, is because I wanted to make sure and tape off everything around it. So I got some nice, non-skid lines around the console, and not, I don't want it sitting right where the skid's gonna be. So anyways, you'll also notice it's definitely a different color white. Part of that plan, when I paint the outside of the boat, I'm going to get another quarter pint, whatever it takes, of Matterhorn paint. Paint that real quick and get it matching the rest. But anyways, for today's episode, that's what we're using. We got some, looks like 1/2 inch, 3/4 inch, and almost 1.5 inch tape. Start taping. I think we're going to use the wider tape along the bottoms of the floor, probably the 1/2 inch on these gunnels because they're pretty narrow, and 3/4 around some of the hatches. Haven't decided, may just go 1/2 inch all around just to make it consistent. But anyways, enough squawking, start taping. that close. Literally ran out with an inch left. So on these corners, these inside corners, just taking an extra piece. Just gonna lay it in there. And then we'll come back later and with the razor knife and get a template, get something, maybe use, you know, one of these rolls or something, round them off so they all look nice. So anyways, getting there. It's a lot of taping to do. It's kind of monotonous. It's kind of boring to film, but you know, I actually enjoy this part, believe it or not. You know, kind of just all these little details nobody's gonna really see except for you when you're standing there in the boat and maybe you're fishing and nothing's biting and you're just staring at the gunnel looking at that perfect little non-skid line going, yeah, I'm glad I took the extra 5 minutes and did that all then. Because if not, what you're gonna do is look at it every time and say, God, it looks like crap. I wish I had just taken 5 more minutes and done that. So, you know, do it however much you want, but I like to take the extra few minutes while it's all laying here in the shop wide open and make it nice. So keep at it. One more note. Yes, I do have my shoes off because when I cleaned all this gel coat, some of it wasn't 100% cured. And it was a little sticky in certain spots still. I think I sprayed it on a little thin, which is fine because, you know, we're going over it again. So shoes are dirty, didn't want to leave prints. Socks were clean, so do that. Hey, guess what? It's summertime in Florida. Can't even hear myself thinking here. We are getting close. We have all the tape done on the floors and the decks, and then from the bow all the way down this gunnel, and you'll see all these little random rectangles and such. These are where I've marked out for cleats, rod holders, cup holders, rod holders, midship cleat, more rod holders, rod holder, cup holders. So a lot of measuring to get all this done. These little pieces here, the corners, I'm gonna, you know, just round these off with a razor knife, and I'll pull all that extra tape. So then what I did was I took, let me do this real quick, pulled all these measurements off of here, off each line, transferred them over to this side. So you'll just see the little marks, you know, all the way down the gunnel. And then all I'm doing now, instead of remeasuring, you know, everything exactly, basically just go into the line, setting the square up on it, and then laying a piece of tape across it. And that'll make this side much quicker. And then I gotta put one for the gas cap, which obviously isn't on that side. And then I'll break out the some sort of round off tool, whatever size I need, 1 inch, whatever, and a razor knife, clean all these up. All right, let me just throw a few tips out here that you will run across if you're doing this. So it's not very hard to do, but you do have to pay attention to a couple things, and that's mainly what side, if you're measuring line, you know, putting marks or whatever, what side of that mark does your tape go on? Because say you want an 11-inch, you know, clear spot here for a cup holder and a rod holder. Well, if you look at it, you've only got 9 inches of opening there, and you may think, oh no, I want it bigger, but you know, when you're not going to gel coat here, you're going to put Nonskid here and here. That's going to remain covered. So when you peel this tape off, you're going to have, you know, an 11-inch opening for your stuff. The roofing square, I use that mainly because, you know, just to keep these lines not technically straight, but consistent. So, you know, this obviously is very curved. So what you're going to want is, you know, your lines are going to be consistently curved. Trust me, you try to make them all straight across and they're going to look kind of wonky one way or another if you're trying to, you know, eyeball it. So you just use something and keep it consistent. Final thing, if you have cap supports or anything under the gunnel and you want to put cup holders and rod holders here, you actually see I crossed that mark out because I had originally measured it to there because it was like an even number or whatever. And then I taped it and I went, wait, my cup holder is going to go right here, and right underneath that is this guy. So I scooted it over 2 inches. So a couple things to keep in mind when you're doing this to make it a little more successful, a little less aggravating. All right, so we are doing the trimming now. We've got all these corners taped off, and obviously we don't want our non-skid to look like that. So to round these off, I found a 2-inch hole saw bit that's kind of best matches the profile of these, you know, the gutter inside. So I'm just going to go with that all around to keep it consistent. So one of them, sharp blade on the razor knife. Basically just set it so that one end touches that line and one end touches that line. Hold it firm, run the knife around it. And then just use the blade to pick it off. Just like that, you get a nice clean line that looks a lot better than just a hard edge, in my opinion. So I'm going to go ahead and do that all the way around here. Got a lot to do, but at the end it's worth it. Real quick for this, if I can get on this, for these big radiuses like that there, basically just going to take this roll of tape that's the same width and just hold the knife on it and just, you know, kind of run the knife around and just keep a steady hand, keep it, you know, flat, and it should work as well. So this is what we're starting with here. And this is what we're ending with. So nice, nice round edges around everything. Looks a lot nicer than a bunch of triangles over there. So we will work our way around the entire boat, get it all the same. Oh, just for reference, the larger tape, the 1.5-inch tape, used a 3.5-inch. I've also used, let's say like WD-40 cans, spray paint cans if you don't have a big hole saw bit. So basically anything that's round and, you know, metal that you can run a knife against. It'll all work fine. Doesn't have to be a specific tool. All right, that's it. Take another walk around, make sure that we didn't miss anything. I've actually done that before. You get, start rolling gel coat on, you're like, crap, I forgot to cut one little corner, and you gotta move real fast. But no, it looks pretty good. I think we are ready. All we need now is the last little gallon of gel coat to show up in the mail tomorrow. So apparently it went to Orlando instead of down towards Sarasota. So they rerouted it and it should be here tomorrow. And I'll give this one final little quick wipe. Start rolling. Okay, let's get started on sprinkling some actual non-skid. Got the hatches. We're going to do these first. I've taped them off just like the rest of the boat. Sanded them, acetoned them, got all the wax off and everything. Got a little bit of gel coat. Ready to go. I have some pumice. I'm using the fine pumice. I like that texture on that. It's real easy, like if you kneel down or bare feet or whatever. And the specialist tool in the shop, good old salt shaker from the dollar store. So all we do, roll it on, just cover it with pumice, walk away. That's it. Give that an hour or so to cure, and then we'll go back, clean off all the excess, and put a coat on top to seal it all up. So easy peasy. Ooh, almost got my foot there. this stuff good and stirred so we don't have any wet spots left. That easy, just a nice even coat on everything. Get hair out of the way. Move to the next one. Did not take much at all, probably about, I don't know, 6 ounces. I put 12 in there, so I'm gonna go ahead and sprinkle this and then jump up on the boat so I don't waste this gel coat. Now with this, you cannot put too much of this stuff. Just totally cover it, because if it's excess, it'll just sweep off. And if it's not enough, you'll have patchy spots that just don't look great. That's that. For the most part right now, you would just walk away and let this cure. So just for reference, 12 ounces got me that far, including those 4 hatches. So now it's just a matter of sprinkle. Cover it all real good. You can see like the glossy parts. Just want to cover all of that. So like I say, you can always blow the excess off, but when it cures up and you got a bunch of patchy looking holes in it, not the best. So I'm gonna go ahead and keep doing this all the way down. Point a fan at me a little more because it's hot and it's stinky. Should probably have a respirator on, but sacrifice for you guys right now. Shop dogs! Woo, woo, woo! Woo, woo, woo! All right, step one is done. Took the air hose and just kind of blew it around a little bit. That'll help to fill in any little spots you might have missed. I think you might have noticed on the time lapse I was doing over here, there was a glossy spot. I went ahead and covered that off camera. And yeah, just blow it around. It'll, push it in any of the little wet spots that still need some. And really, the only thing you can do now is walk away. Let it cure up. You don't want to mess with it too much now because it'll smear and smudge and make a mess. Plus, you'll start dripping more sweat on it. So get out of your own way and let it cure. We'll come back to it in a few hours. All right, that's what it looks like now. Got the excess blown off, vacuumed up, most of it, probably 95% of it. Now, time to roll another coat on there to seal it up. Rolled on. The only thing to do now is the fun part. There we go. Just like that, we have non-skidded a hatch. There we go. The tape is off. It's looking pretty dang nice. I do have a couple spots. I'm going to touch up the gel coat, but planned on doing that anyways. Plan on spraying another coat over a majority of it. A, to finish curing it up, and B, just to catch a couple of those little spots that I burned through when I sanded it. But overall, I'm happy. Turned out really nice. Couple quick tips. I did want to pull the tape off the same day after I rolled the coat on top, and I didn't get a chance to, so it sat overnight. And the longer you leave that tape on, this stuff gets sticky and it leaves like a, let's see, here's a little residue. Fingers are nasty, but you get the point. It does wipe right off. It's just an extra thing you got to do. Get a little acetone, wipe that off. But anyways, overall, here's a look at the hatches. the hatch lids. They turned out really nice. I'm very happy with those. So yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and wrap this. I'll just do some touch-up gel coat, no big deal, but you guys have seen me spray gel coat a couple times now, so no sense in filming that. So with that, we'll go ahead and wrap this video up. Next, we are going to start on the outside, do a little bit of minor fairing, fix a few little spots, and then start to paint. So hopefully you enjoyed it, and on to the next. Talk soon, guys.